This is Tech Room, brought to you by Loctech. I'm your host, Akila Chikeje, but you also know you can call me the resident Texas. Tech Room is a corporate social responsibility of the Loctech Training Institute. It is a TV program that brings information technology education to our community's doorstep. We do this at Loctech because we believe that everyone, regardless of age, gender, or financial status, should have access to information technology education. Welcome. Welcome to yet another episode of TV's most educative program. Yes, I said it. It's Tech Room powered by the Loctech Training Institute. And this segment is our interview segment. I have someone interesting, an instructor from the Loctech Training Institute. She teaches courses like web design and digital marketing. She's going to talk to us about the summer program that Loctech Training Institute has for our young learners, so for kids and teenagers. Welcome to the show, Olawumi.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So introduce yourself to our audience.
Okay, my name is Olawumi Iwaluyi. I'm an instructor here at Loctech IT Training. I teach web design and I teach digital marketing as well.
Okay, so allow me, you and I know that there's an increase in the job market for digital skills, tech skills, and I know that parents who wish the best for their kids would like to set them up by giving them access to digital skills and tech skills. So, but my question to you is, what is the appropriate age to introduce a kid or a child to tech skills?
Okay, so we know that children of these days, they have the tendency of actually catching things very fast. So we advise that if you want your children to start learning tech skills, they can start as low as 4 years old. So we have different skills for them to learn from. Like they can start with Scratch. Scratch is just a game, but they are learning how to code and how the IT space works.
So it's like using play.
Yes, because we know that their attention span is not that long, so we need something that can actually keep them engaging. Yeah. So that's why we introduce courses like Scratch, like robotics. So it keeps them engaged and they want to learn more.
Yeah. Okay, so just quickly tell us about the summer program that you have for young learners here at the Loctech Institute.
Okay, so we do this every year. It's a once in a year program. So we tend to bring the children together and then the teenagers so they can learn different tech skills. We know that this is the only long holiday that they have in a year. So after they leave the school and then they are at home, if they are not doing anything, they tend to disturb the parents and even forget what they were taught in school. So we came up with the program to just keep them engaged and still learn more so that they can actually discover what they want to do with it as time goes on, instead of becoming an adult and then still trying to find the career path to go through. So we just introduce them, not that we're telling them this is what you should do, but at least they decide to find interest in any of them as time goes.
Thank you so much for coming on the show, Allow me.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so very quickly we'll be moving on to our learning segment.
Hello, welcome to the last episode of the Advanced Excel series. My name is Fimbas Chisom, your Excel tutor, your advanced Excel tutor. So last time out, we handled more advanced formulas and handled some problems, some practice questions. So for today, we have forecasting. You know, I'm talking about a guy, like if you're a salesman, I'm talking about predicting or forecasting your future sales revenue. So we're going to do that. And also last but not the least, how to chat. So yeah, let's get into it.
All right, let's get into it. So I have for a sales data set, my date format in this case starts with month, then day, then year, right? So I have a 10-day data set, and it's a sales data set of an enterprise owned by someone named Bikes, as you can see on the screen here. So I'm going to try to forecast the next 5 days for him. You know, I'm his analyst, hypothetically. So how do we do that? We're going to use something called Excel's forecast sheet. is over here under the data menu. Is over here. If you don't see it here, you go to your files. You go to your files, file, then option, right? Then customize ribbon. You see mine. Mine is over here, forecasting. So, but if you don't already have it there, if you can't see it in your data tab, you import it from here and press add over here. So that's how you do it. So I'm just going to get straight into it with the one I already have. Clicking on, first of all, you can select your data set, and I'm now going to forecast. Click on the forecast sheet. You can see this is already the idea. This is the forecast. This is the forecast. This is the data set I already have. So I'm going to talk about the options, different options, and what they mean. So first of all, you can see the forecast, start forecast, and I told you I want to predict the next 5 days, right? So the start date obviously be where my data stopped. That's 10. So if you want to add 5 onto that, that's obviously 10 plus 5 plus 15. Confidence interval means that, okay, in statistics, because we're basically doing is that this Excel's forecast sheet is based on something called exponential smoothing, and it's a statistical method used to forecast a time series kind of data. You understand? So, and on that note, this actually it has something to do with something called confidence interval. What is confidence interval? In statistics, it is if you run a test and you have a confidence interval, let's say your confidence interval is 95%, right? That means that if the test is run 95 times, if the test is run 100 times, there is a 95% chance that you will get the same result. If the test is run 100 times, there's a 95% chance, 95 of those 100 times you will get the same result. So, naturally in statistics, we can never be 100% sure, right? So, for example, I like giving this example, this instance, if your father tells you to measure a bed, at home, and you lost this measuring tape, but you don't want to tell him you use a ruler instead. You will get and you get 45 centimeters. Obviously, you won't tell him because 45 centimeters. If you tell him, you obviously you actually letting him know that information is like of a less than 50% confidence level. You're not confident about that information. So you have to be like, okay, 45 plus or minus based on you lost the measuring tape. 45 plus or minus 5. So you can say that you're 95% confident that, okay, the length of that bed falls between 45 plus or minus 5. That's between 50 and 40. Okay, so that's the idea of the confidence interval. So if you want to be 100% sure, you tell your father 45 plus or minus something like 1 million. That would be extreme, but that would be for sure. And you can see that is why we don't deal with 100% confidence interval, because it is extreme and it is just not a statistics. The height is 99. Most commonly used is 95. So, I say the whole lot about this because it's very important. So that's 95% confidence. That's it for the 95% confidence interval. So, as we are forecasting, we are not going to be 100% sure. We need a range, right, to fall under. And by standard range is 95%. So seasonality is that before you make some kind of prediction, right, it has to understand the seasonality of your data. Like, okay, naturally as a salesman, maybe you notice that every seven days, like every Monday, you see a burst of customers because that's where the week starts. I think I start going for work on every Friday. Your customers reduce maybe because of the weekend. You understand? So in that kind of company, that kind of business enterprise, seasonality will be something like 7. And that's what this exponential smoothing understands, because it will make the prediction more accurate if there's a reasonable seasonality specified, right? Okay, so detecting automatically for Excel is not very, it doesn't do a great job. Or let's just set, because we have a 10-day data set. Let's just set 3. It's something that you can try out. You actually test different ones, but if you know your enterprise, you should set a more certain seasonality. But I'm just going to put 3 for now because I understand the data set I put there. Let's put 3. Timeline range is Excel that smartly detected it as this dates column. Then the next thing is the values range, also smartly detected as the sales column. That's great. Then the next thing is the feeling missing, but as in case there's no missing point, as you can see my screen, if we don't have any information here, interpolation means that it will just connect here to here, right? So it's good. And aggregate duplicate using average always sets, always, that makes sense because we are trying to predict a sales numerical information. That's the best thing to use. And yeah, so create, including forecast statistics and some other advanced statistics that we don't really need. So create a new sheet for us and make predictions, and also make a chart for us. So with this chart now, we can see what may happen in the next 4 days. We can see what can happen. They have a prediction and they have an upper range and the lower range, right? So what can happen, and you can see the average and the average of what may happen, and you can also see the highest possibility and lowest possibility, right? And yeah, we can see it in chart form, and we can see it in numerical form. There's lower bound, upper bound, and the forecast, the main forecast, which should necessarily be the mean, something close to the mean of these two, right? So that's it about forecasting, and it's a very helpful tool in Excel. If you know how to use the forecast sheet, you can be able to forecast things like stocks. You can go out of sales and forecast things like stocks, obviously revenue, which is similar to sales, and things like that. So let's enter creating charts. So now, moving on to creating charts. So it's a very basic fundamental concept in Excel, to be very honest with you. So how is just a way to display your information inside charts, basically. We can see some questions here. Show the performance of every student in all subjects in the chart. The performance of every student in all subjects in the chart. So that means we're supposed to use the student's average. So the idea of this charting is that anything you want to show, you should select it, right? So now, basically the question said student average, right? So that is student average. Then you go to the insert menu and click on, and you click on this icon here. Then you click on all charts. You can see, right? They are just, but in this case, it's giving us, based on we only selected the student average. Yeah, it's actually giving our students names, not as number like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So how do you fix that? Like, this is not bad. Like if I double click on this, I'm going to see, basically the students average in charts, right? The bar chart, any other charts, you want to see, you can actually try it out and see. But this is not what I want to see. This is actually not what I want to see. And, in that case, I want to actually just delete these charts and try again, and actually show you guys how to get the desired results in this case. I just deleted that chart. How do I get the desired result in this case? After I selected the student average, select the student ID too. Make sure obviously it's in the same same length, same height. I cannot come and now say I want to select these 2 extra things when the average only had 23 rows. I can't select 25 rows for the student ID. No, make sure it's the same pane and come again, try again, insert, and let's see if that was giving our students their right names or their right IDs, right? And now all charts, and perfect, right? So this is basically what was asked for in the first task. I double clicked on that, and now I have it. You can edit your title by clicking on the title. You can click on the title. You can make it average of students, something like that, right? And that is perfect. So how to create a chart that's one chart. So another chart you can create for the second question is compare the class average in all courses in the chart. Compare the class average in all courses on a chart. So let's compare the class. Basically this row here. How do you do that? As I said before, as you guys know now. So select the class average, right? And go to insert and go to this place or recommended charts to see what Excel thinks will make sense. And you can see it has given us the different things. But as you can see, it's given the different courses 1, 2, 3, 4. How do you fix that, please? You can say that in the comment section. Well, obviously you have to come here like this. Come here and select these two. Hold your control key, hold the control key and select the 4. But as I said, it must be the same length, right? It should be the same length. So in that case, we are just going to actually select this, right? And select this. It can work if it's not the same length, but please, just for consistency's sake, so it work in all cases, just make sure it's the same length. Recommended charts, and yeah, you can see. Then I've double clicked on that. I like that suggested chart. I'm going to click OK, and yeah, and I can just edit the title to make it class average. Class average. How? By clicking on this, double clicking on that, Control A, class average sharp. Then for the last question, show the distribution of all the class average in all courses. Distribution. So it means I can use a histogram, basically. Histogram, whatever I want to use to show the distribution of the class averages in all courses. In all courses. So that is I'll just use similar to the last question. I'm not going to show it in the pie chart. So how do I do that? Select everything here and insert a pie chart. And click on it through here, 2D, and then click on this 3D pie chart, and you can see. And again, I did the title to show me class average. That is it for creating charts in Excel. Thank you.
With this, we have come to the end of the Advanced Excel series. Congratulations for making it this far. If you would like to know anything more in depth, if you like to know more about Advanced Excel and explore, you can come to us at Loctech. You will see me there, you will see my team, and we will we'll put you through. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being a part of today's episode of Tech Room powered by the Loctech Training Institute. Thank you for coming on the learning journey with me, the resident Texas. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Loctech Training. You can catch up on all the previous training videos you might have missed. Connect with us on social media as well, on all social media platforms at Loctech Training. If you'd like to call for inquiries, 0703-888-5466. Until same time next week when I come to you with another episode of Learning, Texas signing out. Bye-bye.